Okay, real quick, these are words that are going to happen throughout all of Unit 2. All right, we're going to talk about them very briefly the first day, and then we'll keep coming back to them. All right, so the entire unit is called transformations. All right, my learning target is actually written wrong. This should say translation. All right, so it should say translation. A transformation is moving an object or figure using a ruler property. So transformation, there's 4 kinds. All right, there are 4 kinds. We are only going to do 3 in the year 2020. If you're listening to this video after the year 2020 and I haven't changed it, we're going to do all 4. Okay, 2020, if you haven't heard in history, was nuts. All right, so we didn't have all of the topics in 2020. So transformation, there is rotation, reflection, dilation, translation. We'll talk about that. The most important things, 3 of them: image, pre-image, rigid motion. Okay, image is what you end with. It's the after. It's the end image, end picture. So if it says find the image, it means what do you get after you do whatever we're going to do to the figure. The pre-image is what you start with. Okay, that is the beginning. All right, the beginning picture. So it's what you start out with. So if it says, hey, this is the pre-image, find the image, we got to make sure we're good. In the rare occasion that it says this is the image, find the pre-image, that means you have to go backwards and you've got to really think about the question. Rigid motion, very, very simple. Image, pre-image are congruent. Same size, same shape. We'll continually talk about this throughout the unit. And then after we get done learning about the different things we're going to deal with, we'll spend at least one day exclusively looking at things and saying, this is a rigid motion, this is not a rigid motion. You can almost always tell from looking at it, okay? There's some other things we'll talk about, but you can almost always tell from looking at it. This has become less and less important each year, all right? Direct versus indirect, okay? And this is basically when it's just not mirrored, all right? Meaning that they line up with each other exactly. As a very, very rough example, if this is a graph, and I have a triangle over here called A, B, C, and it ended up over here for whatever reason, and it was A prime, B prime, C prime. We'll talk about those as we do some of these, okay? The letters need to be in the same order when going clockwise around the figure, meaning if I start at A and I go clockwise, I get A, then B, then C, and then I get A, B, C, and that one. That's direct. If I have another really, really rough graph here, and I have a triangle, A, B, C, and it ends up over here, and it's A prime, and you look at it, that's ABC, that's ACB. The letters are backwards in the image versus the pre-image. That's not direct or indirect. Okay, there used to be another word they used for it. They don't ask this hardly ever anymore. Okay, you probably won't get asked it in class at all unless I remember to come up with it for a question. But it's something that can pop its head up every once in a while on a Regents exam or something and cause massive amounts of trouble, okay, because we just don't talk about it enough. Direct directly sits on top of the other one, directly sits on top of it. Indirect sits on top of it, but the letters don't match up. Okay, that's what we're looking at. That is not what you need to stress out about. We got to know what these 3 things are right here: image, pre-image, rigid motion. They are required. Good news, there's about 7 words you got to know throughout this whole unit, not like last unit.